Hello guys and welcome back to the channel, thanks for tuning in. So today I'm going to be unboxing the Genki ShadowCast 2. This has been sat on my shelf for a while, so I'm going to be unboxing it and reviewing it. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So you can use it with the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, but I'm going to be using it with the Nintendo Switch and the Steam Deck. And I'm going to be using my iPad mini, well we'll see how that goes, and also a MacBook. So let's go ahead and unbox it and then we'll take it from there, and then I'll also go through some numbers with you in terms of what kind of frame rates you're going to get by using such a small device. Now when you think capture card, you're probably thinking the Elgato and stuff like that. There is a lot of expensive capture cards out there. This is only $50 and that's what it cost me, so it is right there, budget friendly, and it is very easy to use. So that's what I'm going to be showing you today, basically showing you how to use it, how to get around it, and what kind of frame rates we're going to be getting. So inside the box you get this nice little sticker, obviously the device itself, some instructions which I didn't need to use, but it's very good to have them at hand because you might need to use them at some point or other. And yeah, so that's literally what's inside the box, and also you do get the cable, but I'll come back to that in a second. So the device itself is the same size as a Zippo lighter, so if you're familiar with Zippos, it's bang on exactly the same size, height wise. Width wise you're going to get a couple of these, but in a Zippo, but you know, it is a real nice sleek design. It does have a USB type C and just basically a HDMI cable at the front. And then like I mentioned, you do get this nice cable. Now this is a real premium cable, I can tell. So let's whip out the blade, open it up and have a little feel and see if it is actually quality or not. And I can confirm the quality is very good. It's long enough as well, so it is fabric coated, which is very nice, and that's going to last you a long time hopefully. So we're going to clip the USB type C into the USB type C port, and this other end is going to go into whatever device you choose to use. Now you can use this with an iPad and also an iMac. You can also use it with your PC and do it with OBS and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to be using it with any of those. I'm just going to be using it with the iMac and also the iPad itself. Well, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's a nice little device. Look how small it is. I can't believe this is an actual capture card. So without further ado, let's go and see what this device is capable of, and let's see if it's any good. So the first thing you want to do is you want to put the capture card into the HDMI port into the back of your Nintendo Switch, the docking station, and then once you've done that, you're going to put the USB type C cable into the back of it, and then you're going to hook it up to like whatever you want to hook it up to. I'm going to try the iPad first and then the MacBook Air M1. So the first thing you need to do is get this app, download it, and then you want to connect it through the app. Now the issue that I was having was that the iPad wasn't connecting, so I couldn't actually get it to work. It was telling me to do something to do with like FaceTime or something. When I did that, everything was like opposite, so I gave up. So I thought I'll try it with the MacBook Air, and with the MacBook Air it's pretty straightforward. You just use the app like I mentioned earlier and you connect it through that. Then you get this little circle here, you press record if you want to screen record, and that's what I'm going to be demonstrating now. Okay, so let's run some numbers now in terms of frame rate and stuff. So this little guy can take a 4K 60 feed and capture it up to 1440p at 30 frames per second, or it can capture 1080p at 60 frames per second. So what I basically did was I just ran it at 1080p at 60 frames per second. You can actually push it to 1440p, but that's on other things like PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, which I don't have an Xbox Series and I didn't capture any PlayStation 5 footage. I mean, I could do in the future, but for the sake of this video I didn't want to, because I only want to use this device for the Nintendo Switch and the Steam Deck. And to be honest, it ran like a dream. I didn't have any issues, no slowdown, no frame dipping, none of that stuff, no screen tearing. It ran really smooth, and I'm actually very happy with the actual device itself. Another big pointer for me was that this device actually shipped with a USB Type 3 clothed cable, because you need this to be able to do any of this kind of stuff, so you don't have to actually source one. So it's really good that it actually came in the box. It kind of surprised me, that, to be honest with you, because for that price point I was just expecting the capture card and not the cable. If you're like myself and you wanted a decent capture card just to capture some good gameplay footage at a decent frame rate at 1080p, this is perfect. I know you can do 1440p at 30 frames per second, and you can also use it on your Xbox and also your PlayStation 5. I haven't actually used it for any of those consoles. Maybe I'll make a video further on down the line checking those out, but for me, I'm definitely going to be using it for my Steam Deck and also for my Nintendo Switch. And it just looks really good. The frame rates are good, the quality of the image is fantastic. I mean, I can't fault it at all. I also know that they do have a generation 1 to the ShadowCast, but that wasn't for me, because that's like, it was capped at, at a certain frame rate and stuff. I can't really remember at the top of my head. That's the reason why I went with the ShadowCast 2, because it is best suited for current gen consoles. It's got better recording quality, and also you can use it with an external monitor, and it's inexpensive. I also did some side-by-side checking with the recording and the original footage in front of my eyes, and it's not 100%, so bear that in mind, guys. This is a $50 device. It's not going to be 100%, but it's very close. Now, I've watched other videos and they've said the same thing, and I've heard other people even say that the Elgato, which is, extortionate in price, is quite close considering the price range. So you don't have to have a very expensive capture card. This will do the trick. It will cover a lot of bases depending on what you're going to use it for and what your use case scenario is. For me and myself, like I mentioned, it's perfect for the Switch. It's perfect for some retro games and stuff like that. I mean, it might even be good for some PS4 stuff. I haven't really checked it out, but it might even be good for some PS5 and some Series X stuff. I've yet to check those out, but for the price range, it is a very good deal, and it's a steal, and I totally recommend it.
You win!
Now, there is one thing that I do want to mention, like, as a side note. When I was playing Street Fighter and I was recording it as the footage that you can see now, and I was looking at it side by side, it was actually near enough identical. You couldn't actually tell the difference. So I guess it depends on what game you're playing as well, so bear that in mind too. So not all games are going to be on point, but some games are. Like Street Fighter, the colour was all there, it looked really good through and through. But certain games like Mario seemed a little bit off, and what was the other game that I played? Link's Awakening seemed a little bit off as well. Not to take anything away from Mario, but when I was recording, I could see that side by side, the footage that I recorded had a little bit of like a green tinge to it. Very minute, but it was there. It was prominent enough to be able to tell. And then I had to get a second opinion, so I asked the missus, I said, what's the difference on these two screens? And she pointed out to the recording and said, this has got like a different, it's got something wrong with it. She couldn't tell me what it was, but it's got a green tinge to it. But at least she knew that there was something off. And it wasn't just my eyesight, because my eyesight is not what it used to be. Playing all these games, has a toll on your eyes as you're getting older. And I'm not that young anymore. So, you know, I thought to myself, oh, my eyes playing a little bit of trickery with me, but definitely, again, $50, you know, you got to bear that in mind. It always comes back to the price and the cost of the unit, because obviously you pay, well, not always, but majority of the times you do pay for what you get. So it's one of those. And for what this is, small device, I mean, amazing. You can't really fault it for what it is. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with some footage, and then we're going to move on to the final stage of the video, where I'm going to be showing you some footage on the Steam Deck, and then some raw footage of me just playing some games, or a game, on the iMac, just so then you can get an idea of what it looks like. So let's check out some raw footage. I'm just going to be playing some Cars by Disney. This is my son's favorite game, and it was already on the Nintendo Switch, so I didn't have to actually put it in another cart, because at this point I got a little bit lazy, so I do apologize for that. But it's a great game, you know, not taken away from the game at all. It is fun. I did actually enjoy playing this with my son. He's actually really good at it. He's only 3, he's going to be 4 soon, but he's actually really good at games. And again, guys, this does come in clutch if you do want to play it on your MacBook M1 or whatever MacBook you've got. I don't know, as long as it's USB Type C. Now, I thought that would be the same thing for the iPad, but obviously it didn't work. I've got the iPad Mini 6, but there's got to be a way around it. There's got to be a solution. I just got to get onto Reddit or something, but I just didn't have the time to do it when I was making this video, so I do apologize for that. But as it stands, at least, you know, it works. You can play some games on your MacBook Air if you're ever traveling. At least you've got that option now that you can hook your Nintendo Switch up to your MacBook Air and have some fun, or even your iPad.
Nobody likes to show off.
Okay, so let's keep it moving. Next up, we're going to check out the Steam Deck, some raw footage from the Steam Deck. So it's the same kind of setup. So all you got to do is, if you've got a docking station, you're going to put your capture card into the HDMI port, and then put the USB cable on, in there, and connect it that way, and then the other side you're going to put straight into your MacBook Air, and then you'll get the signal. And again, guys, I can't stress it enough. I know I keep saying this. I probably said it about 5 times already. I do apologize, but you can actually capture your footage from the Steam Deck onto your MacBook Air or even your iPad. Didn't work for me, obviously, but it is what it is. And I'm gonna enjoy playing some Hokuto Shinken. I think that's what it's called. Is it called Hokuto Shinken? I don't know. Fist of the North Star. Let's just go with Fist of the North Star. I'm really bad with Japanese. I'm bad with English names, never mind Japanese names. So yeah, this was one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 2. I've even made a video on this. So yeah, that's how much I like this game. I do wish they'd bring this to the Nintendo Switch or Steam or whatever, a remastered version, or even just a physical, you know, a copy would be nice for the Nintendo Switch. I think that would be really good, because I do love this game. And just recently they bought SNK vs Capcom Chaos, I think that's what it's called, on Steam, and it's also out on the Switch. If it comes out physically, I'll definitely snap up a copy. I didn't actually buy it. Actually, I did buy it on Steam, then I cancelled it because I thought it was going to be a remastered version, but it actually wasn't. It was just a straight port, and I've already got it for the PlayStation 2, and it's on my Steam on my Steam Deck as well. So there's no point me actually getting it. I mean, it did have some nice bells and whistles and some trinkets, but it just wasn't worth the price for myself. I just thought to myself, I've already got the game. There's no point me having it unless it's physical. So if it comes out physically for the Nintendo Switch or even the PlayStation 4 or 5 or whatever they choose to do, I'll definitely snap it up.
The time of retribution. Battle 1. Decide the destiny.
So that's it, guys. That's really a wrap. This is a real quality cable, and without this it wouldn't work. So again, Thank you for sending this with the box. And that was it, guys. A real good little device for 50 bucks. I would totally recommend it to everyone who's looking for a capture card, anyone who's on a budget, and anyone who really wants to capture the Nintendo Switch. For the PlayStation 5, I don't know, I'll try it out at another time, but for the Nintendo Switch and the Steam Deck, it was perfect. So that was it, guys. Please do like, share and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Leave some comments in the comment section down below, and let me know what you thought of the device. If you have it or if you're thinking of getting it, leave some comments in the comment section. I do like it when you guys comment, and I'll catch you in the next video. Stay safe. Peace.